Were you looking for the most OP support in all the league? Well, I got you covered, fam, because Zyra has been topping the support win rate charts for months upon months. Now, obviously, she has a lot of great aspects that make her the best support. She has great burst damage, tons of CC, fantastic zone control with her plants, and I'll say it again, tons of damage. Now, just like every other champion, she does have her faults. She is squishy because she is a poke support. She has no mobility whatsoever, so she can struggle a bit when she's behind. Now, she is an outrageously strong pick right now, but if you aren't quite aware of how she works, let's take a look at those abilities. Her passive is gardening. Zyra loves to grow plants randomly, but she does know her limits, so she can only have 8 plants on the map at a time. The enemies can be big meanies and step on your plants, but they will have to deal with your wrath. Her Q is the spike strip. She'll throw out a spike strip that deals damage. I guess that's really it. But let's go back and talk about her passive one more time. If you hit one of the plants with this spike strip, they will transform it into the plant that spits on the enemy from afar. Her W is more gardening. This will spawn plant buddies at the target location instead of randomly. Yeah, that's really it. I guess it holds up to 2 charges. That's something. Her E is the hentai vines. This will throw out a straight line tying down any target it hits. It does deal a bit of damage, and if you do hit one of your plants, it spawns the melee plant vines that'll spank those naughty Her ult is gardening plus ultra. This will throw down a giant plant that deals damage, then after a short duration will knock up any enemy in the area. If you do hit one of your plants, they become plus ultra plants. They get bigger, they deal more damage, and they get more health. Now, Zyra was originally built for the mid lane, but just like every other zone control mage, she was moved to a support. But really, regardless of where she plays, she really wants the same runes. Comet for the additional damage, Mana Flow for more mana, Transcendence for our big brain, and Scorch for some additional burn damage. Then secondary tree, I like to go Inspiration for biscuits and some Cosmic Insight for our even bigger galaxy brain. As for the items, we want to burn, baby, burn. It's a disco inferno. But we don't want to be too hot, because being too hot isn't cool. So we cool them down with the Rylai's, and really after that, any AP item works. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. If you're liking the video, give it a thumbs up so other people can see it too, and comment down below with anything that I missed. And that's it. We did it. We're in the game, and we're going to take this dagger and these mixed drinks because we need to water those plants. Now, once we're in lane, we want to start it with our E to make sure that we can tie down any enemy. And we also have our plant spawning randomly. When you shoot out your E, it will root everything in a line so your enemy can't hide behind minions. And if you have an opportunity, shoot out your E so that it roots the enemy and hits one of your plants so they can just give them a good old smack. And from there, you really just want to play your role as a poke mage. When you send out an ability, always try and get at least one of your plants so that you can maximize the possible damage. Just keep the lane warded and watch for ganks, because most of the time we will actually just push out the lane just due to how our champion works and with the obviously with the ADC pushing. And we want to try our best to also keep the enemy off the wave while pushing towards them so that we can just poke them under their tower. Now, if you do get some poke damage on the enemy and they have the audacity to walk up to that wave, make sure to hit them with the E so you can get an easy kill, baby. Then, like that, just like a poke support, we want to poke, poke, poke. And once we get to level 6, landing an E basically just means instant death for the enemy. Just land your E, instantly ult under them, and if they are unable to get out of that giant zone, they get that big plus ultra knockup with the plus ultra plants and the ADC following up to make things even easier. Then just get kills, push lanes, get plates, get towers. Now let's take a look at that mid game. Now in the mid game, we want to move towards the mid lane so we can push that out and really just follow our ADC around. Being in the mid lane keeps us available for either of the objectives on the map, and since we don't have a lot of mobility, it also gives us the opportunity to walk up a bit more without the fear of being jumped on by the enemy jungler. But you also don't have to worry about that if you just keep putting wards up. You can also put your plants at the entrances of bushes, because if the enemy steps on them, they are revealed. So that can just get like a cheeky ward. Now during fights, you want to make sure to peel for your ADC. You want to make sure to stay with them and stop the enemy from jumping on top of them. If you do see someone starting to go for your ADC, you can just throw down your ult dead center on them. So the enemy either has to stay in that plant, take that knock up, or they just have to run away. Now, if you think your ADC is safe, you could probably use your ult as a great spacing tool. You just keep the enemy away in general. If your team is finishing up an objective and the enemy team is just looking to engage on you, just throw down your ult and it'll block the engage from the enemy team and you guys could just walk away. Now, during all this, you want to make sure to keep your booty slappers and your spitter plants coming, especially if you have Rylai's, because it always takes a lot of mobility away from the enemy team because they are slow. Just try and be there for objectives and try and stay away from enemies' front lines and you'll be golden. And that's it. We did it. We won the game. And if you enjoyed this video, check out the Master of 4, the Uno Quartet Jin, as he terrorizes the mid lane. Talk to you later.